SBC Media.
Brazil, a global economic powerhouse, deeply passionate about sports, and now home to one of the hottest markets in gaming. And we're giving it the full SBC treatment. Join industry leaders, market experts, and all the major players in the country for 3 days of content, exhibition, and epic networking at the first ever SBC Summit Rio.
SBC Leaders connects the gambling industry's top-tier operators and associations to share the best ideas, collaborate on solving the biggest issues, and push innovation throughout the betting and gaming industry. If you're an operator and want to join the discussion, visit sbcleaders.com for more information.
Hi everybody, welcome. I've got a wonderful and inspiring guest today who I read an article at the SBC Leaders magazine back in Barcelona back in September, only last year. No, this year. What year am I thinking? And I immediately wanted to try and find our guest here to talk. And we did. We met up and we spent a lot longer than we thought we were going to chat, but we found mutual passions about how we believe people should approach different people is one of the subjects. So I'd like to welcome Vladimir. Play. Welcome, Vladimir.
Hello, Andrea. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it was one of the most remarkable meetings in this industry when somebody comes to, when somebody from your friends is coming and telling like, our CEO just read an article from the magazine and you really need to speak, and I'm very happy that you did it. It's like I think it's very hard to find somebody with the same attitude, with the same mindset. So yeah, it was very, very awesome meeting.
And I recall that we didn't talk business. I didn't sell to you. You didn't sell to me. You didn't ask me business questions. We just talked. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation as a podcast, because we both have that total passion. It is a passion of making sure that people can have a smart relationship, honest relationship, human relationship. And you and I were talking away about different things. I've got to start with the stories that you've got about. You insist that your salespeople, if they're at an event, a social event, you don't sell at a social event. And you made me smile and laugh when you talked to me about that. Tell the listeners a few bits about that, because I think it's really smart.
I really like. I will tell you just a little story, but again, prelude to this rule probably. Yeah, it was a party, a very, very noisy party with a lot of people, but a lot of it's a beach party, so a lot of pretty funny guys, pretty funny girls around you, and it was like music growing. And somebody was on this party, the person who tried to sell me like, I don't know, around 40 minutes. It was Anaya and just trying to sell me the product, selling some business ideas, and so probably it was okay. And honestly, there was a lot of good things to discuss because it was a pretty smart guy. But on the party, it was very uncomfortable because it was the end of the week. And I expected this party, and honestly, there were a lot of friends around that were discussing making some very different things. And that's why this was one of the provenance of story that I think one of the main rules, and I don't know why a lot of business development guys or ladies just forgot about this. When you're sitting at the party, I don't know, at the bar, so never sell. There were a lot of topics to discuss. Never try to that's the main rule, which honestly at your play you can be really fight for this. If you recognize it, like on the parties, on the dinners and so on, you just trying only to sell. Because if you're trying to sell, there is no option to receive the good feedback. The most ideal variant that somebody will tell you, of course, let's talk later. And probably he will put you inside the blacklist and will call you. Won't take the call from you. I think that.
You see them pluck your eyes and they walk off in a different direction. Yeah, you soon start to realize, oh no, that person doesn't like me.
Yeah.
So, I think like is a good word, because you want to be able to talk to people, right? And they want to be able to engage.
And if the only topic that you can discuss is the business wise, so probably you need to read some books. Build a relationship with people. Build something. I don't know. People are not buying from the business. Because let's be honest, in our business there were a lot of pretty good competitors and pretty good things around. And first of all, people should understand whom they are continue working with, because it's not relationship about like, okay, I don't know, I need to buy a bottle of water and I never seen this person again from the shop. I'm going to sign a contract for 10 years or 20 years probably, and I need to really understand whom I'm going to work with, because I think in a lot of businesses you spend time with your partners even equal like you spend time with your family in some cases. So it's pretty close relationship in that business. So build it. Just imagine, imagine if you're coming to the guy, to the lady from the field data. It's this guy. I want to build a family with you. Like I want 2 children. And also probably we need to buy a house in some kind of, I don't know, Ontario, because I like some mountains and something like this. And I just see the reaction. It will be the same.
I agree. I mean, I actually reflect it to when I was younger. My parents had a shop. They would sell fruit, veg, and flowers. And when we were front of shop, I didn't call my parents mum and dad. I had to call them by their name. And then when I was not in the front of the shop and mixing with our customers in, I don't know, social events, etc., it was a completely different thing. And I guess I learned very quickly. But I also then learned that across my career. So I have an amazing team around me that are both wise and understanding of that side of things. But I know that they've come with a pedigree and wisdom. But sometimes there are new people that come in and you've got to help them understand how to approach that and make them feel comfortable. Do you do that with your guys? Do you help them understand it? Because they sometimes feel so much pressure, don't they? That I've got him out there. He is. I've been waiting to meet this guy. I've got to go make the deal.
The first rule I think which is like sales guys need to understand is and before the first years you will receive like hundreds of no. You need to be ready for this. And yes, of course, like building the team and the if you want people to grow, I think that we'll just probably touch a point about different like management and leader. And if you really want your people to grow, you need to tell before they come in that sorry, but you will receive a lot of no. It's okay. You need to be ready for this. It doesn't mean that you are selling bad or you have a bad product, something like this. There are a lot of possible reasons, but be ready. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah.
See, that's a nice approach you're taking with your teams. Then it's about. I remember being taught the long way is the short way, because sometimes, depending on what your product offering is. I mean, if I'm trying to sell food at a street cafe, then yeah, you're trying to sell that now because the food's there. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, as you said, 10, 20 years. So taking your time to understand, and when the time is right, I've always said to my team, it's when that person you're trying to target rings you, and they ring you because they say, hey, can you? And then that's a different piece. Long way being the short way, which I guess that's what you're talking about. Is okay, they might say no right now, but it happens. And I think we need to give that space to some of these salespeople. I would applaud any company that you don't relax what your goals are, you don't relax what your targets are, but you should allow your sales and account management team to be relaxed about what they've got to be able to bring in and reward accordingly. Do you find that culture is difficult to create with meeting your goals, or are you seeing that it works?
First of all, I think you have a really brilliant idea about idea about timing. From your access, I will steal it in the future. It's really the right phrase to explain a lot of things. I'm usually telling people to think to hear themselves, because what we called intuition is from my understanding, it's mostly analyzing of the whole information that you have around, and it's giving you a lot of feedback, even if you don't understand where it come from. So first of all, you need to feel it probably, and you're not asking in the bar or in the club what the right time and to come to the person to speak to. You just doing this, you just feeling this, and then based on the talkings, you understand the right stuff to propose a drink, or at the right time just to exit, and then just set up another meeting. You don't need the rules. You just feel it.
You do feel it. Yeah.
The same here. If you don't feel, so probably if you don't feel from the first time, it's okay. If you don't feel after like thousands of speaking, they're probably not your industry or not your way of operation. Because if you're a business development person, you need to develop this skill of feeling and of being understanding or what's going on around you. So, but I think yes, it's the right approach to study these points, to show this, and also it's a very right point to test it. It's if you're new buying and you decided to change something in your life and you decided to come to business development side, first of all, you need to test. Like, until you start speaking with people, you won't understand. Do you feel it? Don't you feel it? Will it be okay for you? Won't it be okay for you? So just test it. Come and speak with 10 people. Then, like the first rule of the first networking party, just collect 12, 20 business cards and listen and ask people about what they're doing. Don't sell them something. Just collect them and explain me after what each product did. So you need just to speak with people. And after this 20 things, you will know a lot of.
What inspired you to be that way? I mean, I've been inspired by a lot of people, including my parents, but in my industry, I've been inspired by quite a few people. But what has inspired you?
Very nice question. Achievements, probably. No, I really like achievements in my past leaders. It's not, but it's not inspiring about what to do. It's also inspiring just not to stop. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what to do exactly. You need to sales, or tomorrow you need marketing, or I don't know. After tomorrow you need some parties and to set up all the events and so on. Doesn't matter. I think the only inspiration that I receive is just not to stop any. What about you? What exactly did you ever think? What's your inspiration? Not just where did you take it, but what exactly are you going to do? Because usually when you stop it, it's not about like, okay, your inspiration is just to control the company. There is some more deep inspiration. What's for you, Andrea?
For me, in our business completely, it's about family first. And I got that from previous roles in different companies where it was definitely not family first, and it was do or die. And some other companies were how you describe. And when I set up the team, it was about making people be part of that team. But, at the end of the day, our families are first. So if somebody comes to us now, we've got a wall, actually, as you come into our office in the UK, and there's coloured wired art up there of everybody's child, grandfather, pet. Somebody once said, well, I haven't got a pet, I don't have a child, but I did create my own computer. Can I put my graphics card up on there? Oh, yeah, if that's what's important to you. That's what we did. And engagement. So everybody's actually engaged. I was inspired by lots of amazing people in the work front, and I say my parents. But I'm now totally inspired by my own team, of course, because they're just out there dealing with it. But I think also it's how I want to be talked to myself. You're right, that noisy story that at that event, and somebody's trying to sell something, like, now's not the time, mate, go away. Listen, you must have some good stories of people maybe in your team or whatever that you've seen that really works. I mean, I'm not going to quote my good stories because people involved would kill me for quoting it, but they're really, very, very well-known people in our industry, and I have an utmost respect and admiration for them. But you must have, maybe in your own team or previous roles, etc., some good insights to what you've seen that's in people who do this right.
Like I was looking for one of the films, and I always try to explain, especially to key account managers, how they need to build their relationship, what it means on this. Because like if you're speaking to the person and telling somebody that, hey, you need to build relationship, everybody will understand it in their own way. But when you just hire somebody and you just start trying to teach this person, you need to explain in more details, especially if you're hiring somebody not from the industry or not from the same job before. And I always try to explain how they need to work with their operators, what they need to know, what they need to speak. And it was always difficult because, you're coming just explaining, hey guys, you need to know everything. You need to speak with the person. Stop, forget about business, blah, blah, blah. Speak about the person, speak about his life. Like a lot of things around. But it's very difficult to explain. But I think 1 month ago, 2 months ago, I watched a very, very cool film called Penthouses. Which is about another industry at all, and in some cases...
I now need to butt in and ask you what platform's that on so I can watch it?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, it was amazing showing how one small company. Yeah, it's with a different ending and so on. It wasn't about this exactly. I took from this film the approach with what they use to compete when it's a small company and how they compete with the giant in the industry which control 90% of the business, just building on a relationship. And it was awesome way, really awesome. And I think this was the best lesson. In 2 hours I wrote to all my team, and I forgot that it was US time and everybody was sleeping. So sorry for this. I think somebody hates me after this, but I wrote...
It's one of my bad habits too.
And I wrote to the whole team, all the account managers and all this business development managers, you just must watch this film. I will ask on the exam about this film. I said once every time, and it's really a lot of teammates. They wrote it's really a nice film, and we understand what you want to try to approach us. So some things like this, I think is the best insights, because there are a lot of cases, and you think that somebody will kill you, and you think I'm more immortal than you, yes, because I have the same stories, and they will hunt me as well. We have a pretty same people around us, so I won't open some insights from the industry and from other people, but this is for me was a really good insight to show.
That sounds brilliant. Can you just spell out what was the name of the movie so everybody that's listening could get it? I mean, I've heard you say that before, but...
Penthouses.
Thank you. So if everybody's got that, it is worth watching. You suggested it to me. It is worth us watching, absolutely. So for me, this whole element of... It sounds so relaxed, it sounds so calm, but actually it is. In the inner side, it is calm. Do you still get the targets met? Because I can imagine some people will be listening to us going, well, it all sounds all good fun, but at the end of the day, we've got targets to meet. I know we are, and I know that we can see, we look at the performance indicators of where we're going, and we can see the growth, etc., and that's built on relationship. Are you guys meeting your targets for that?
I think this is the main reason why we make targets.
Yeah.
Because the main foundation of the team, they work not the first year with me, and they're really experienced in this building of relationship, and I think it's given the main option to receive targets, because I'm always trying to see how other companies working, what they're telling, what they're talking, how they're making approach on the events and so on. And the companies that are not using this, the companies that are not speaking closely with their partners, because you need to build relationship even with competitors.
Yes. But yeah, I've always said that. There's a funny story that at ICE last year, I keep going on last year. The year isn't over yet. This year, we had a competition, and one of our competitors' employees won it. And we were all laughing about that. And the CEO of that company I've known for many, many years, and I'm going to name him, Jens Vader. And we made a comment on LinkedIn. So we might be competitors, but we're also colleagues in an industry. And it was wonderful that this competition was open to everybody. And I do believe that you don't have to give trade secrets away. But I do believe in cooperation, because you learn. And it is that old thing, isn't it, about using your ears before you use your voice box to listen, etc. But that's something that you talk about. I'm not going to go into the deep of it, but you actually carry this through to how you feel about your customers as well, don't you? This approach is an ethos about you and the way your business is run generally, I think, which I was really impressed with.
So yeah, even at the restaurants, when somebody is coming to you, it's always a guest. You can't name this person a client, and this is the main rule in like Ukrainian culture of the restaurants. Because when you hear the word guest, your mind is formulating some kind of pictures. And what do you think? Just close your eyes and tell, when you hear the word guest, who is this for you? What do you see? What the picture?
That's the inspiration in itself. It's those kind of sentences that you give that immediately inspired me and wanted to meet you and have conversations with you. And I think that's an amazing point to end with. You hear it, you close your eyes. What does that mean to you? Now you'll feel sensible and at ease to approach it. Absolutely. Vladimir, you do talk inspirationally, and I know it comes from the heart. It doesn't just... It's not a book you've written. It's something that you believe and you execute and you do yourself. So thanks for coming to this podcast and sharing that for everybody. I hope everybody's been interested in it, because it is such an important aspect in our business, which is full of regulatory detail, everything. And sometimes we have to just step back and remember that we're all humans talking to each other, right?
I think I can fully agree with you. Trey, thanks a lot for inviting me. It was it's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Same here. Thanks ever so much. Goodbye. I'll see you soon.
SBC Media.